Welcome to Everything House Music and More. And today's special guest is the one and only, the Chicago's tightest female DJ, Erica Campbell, a.k.a. DJ Sundance. Make some noise. Hey, Sundance.
What's up, Mimi?
Okay, so now we got to get this out of the way.
Okay.
A lot of people don't know why you call me Mimi, and you're the only one that can do this. So please explain, because I'm tired of telling people about this. So please explain why you call me Mimi.
Years ago, I looked at a picture of you, and you just looked like a sumo wrestler.
Wow.
Because you had hair, it was in the male bun,
Okay.
and you just looked like, a
Okay,
Mimi
so now
to
y'all
me.
know why she called me Mimi.
Yeah,
So
you're
it's
Mimi.
nothing else.
You're
It ain't
forever
nothing,
Mimi.
right. So it's just that's Sundance right there.
Right.
So Sundance, let's get into it.
Okay.
We all know house music, the genre is a feeling, but how would you define it musically?
It is just that. It's a feeling. But remember, Mimi, I was coming from two different worlds. I was
Right.
coming from when I was born in Chicago, but I left very young and went to Inglewood, California.
Okay.
So when I was coming up in LA, it was all about K-Day, NWA had just surfaced, Dr. Dre,
Right.
so it was that
Right.
era. So when I came back, my uncle was heavily involved in disco.
And who was your uncle?
His name is Ethel. He was a musician. He was he was a dope DJ, and he was a big disco head.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, I want to go on to another question, but I want to ask you this. Why do you call yourself the Chicago tightest female DJ?
For branding reasons.
Okay.
It doesn't mean I'm better than, her or her. At the time, I've had that tagline attached to my name maybe almost 19 years.
Okay.
So at the time, I was dating a guy that was a computer techie geek.
Right.
And when he was telling me about search engine optimization, when he was telling me about
SEOs,
the
look at you.
SEOs,
All right.
about the Google search and how what's heavily populated,
Right.
that's when he was like, you need to add something with female DJ.
Okay. I just wanted to put that out there because a lot of people ask me, or they question that. I just wanted to make sure we know about that. Okay. So what year did you start DJing, and how did you get into it?
DJ. Maybe 95, 96. 95 is when I really started collecting.
Okay.
But my influence, again, my uncle.
Right.
Yeah, he was heavy into it. He was a musician. He played for the churches. But I didn't want to be a DJ.
Right. What would you want to be?
I wanted to be a professional drummer.
Oh, get out of here.
Yep, I wanted to be a drummer.
Erica over there drumming.
Yeah. But when I came back from LA, majority of my friends that I had came up with, they had already got jobs at big churches.
Right.
They had already moved on, played for bigger artists. Shout out to my homie, Lil Man. He plays for Maxwell.
Oh, nice.
And then some of my friends, they play for all the big mega churches. So all of my friends have moved on.
Okay.
So I kind of let that go in me, but it was something with that 4/4,
Right.
with the measure that connected me with music, because I've always been a big JB buff.
Okay.
James Brown buff.
So what was your first professional gig as a DJ?
Cubby Bear.
Cubby Bear, Northside.
Yeah.
Get out of
Cubby
here.
Bear. I when I learned how to DJ, I didn't think that I was good enough. And at the time, me and Phantom, we were really close.
That's DJ Phantom.
Yeah. And I asked him to go up there with me just for support, because I was scared as hell.
Right.
And I had my mix pre-programmed.
Okay.
So I knew, and and I had it
not
like that
pre-mixed, but just in your head, you know what you're gonna play.
No,
not
I had
pre-mixed.
the records in the crate.
Right. So I mean,
order.
sometimes you say pre-mixed, and then people think like you had it done already, but you know.
No, it was pre-programmed before I got there.
How long was that? Put your screen saver back on. It went out on us.
Okay, I don't know how to do it, man.
Oh Lord Jesus, y'all take it sometime. We gonna keep this in here too.
I wonder who gave me this faulty ass TV. But anyway, let's go, Mimi. Chop chop. So I had the mix pre-programmed.
Right.
Did the mix. Did a great job.
Okay.
And Phantom, he kind of gave me that stamp of approval, but shit, I didn't need it by then. I was already taught by the greatest. So.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, I was already taught by Chicago's top DJs. So.
Right. Who was some of those DJs?
Steve Maestro was my first DJ.
Steve
he was
Maestro.
my first mentor.
Okay.
But he got a record deal in New York,
right.
and he left.
Okay.
And then Bulu stepped in. Bulu spent the most time with me.
Okay.
Yeah, Bulu was more technical.
Right.
It was like Sundance. You got to learn how to read a crowd, music, measures, stuff like that.
Great. Now this is the DJ side. Now I want to take it back for you being an artist. So we're going back late 80s. Mm-hmm. Okay. So when you came in the game with Fast Eddie and you guys did Get On Up, how did that come about? Tell everybody, because this is a new genre. It, we was house crazy back in the late 80s. Then all of a sudden became this new people rapping over it. So, we give Fast Eddie credit on creating that style, that genre, hip house. I know I do. And anybody want to debate
does.
that? Some people say it, but that's on another time we can debate that.
Okay.
But take us through how that came about between you and Fast Eddie.
I had just got back to Chicago. I think I was a junior in high school, and I won a rap contest, and one of the judges knew Eddie.
Right.
So it was me, it was my boy Jolly D,
okay,
and my boy Rockbox.
Okay.
So because I was so small at the time, but my voice carried, we won. We won $75.
Oh, wow.
And when we won, the guy was like, hey, but he was drunk as hell at the time.
Right.
His name was Jammin' Jack Starling.
Okay.
He said, I know this guy that's looking for a female rapper. I'm going to contact you.
Okay.
And they all gave us the $25 and we went our separate ways.
Now, were you a rapper at this time?
I've always been a rapper.
Okay.
Yeah, that was my escape because I had some major issues at home here in Chicago and at home in LA.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was your getaway.
That was my release.
Okay, so go ahead. From now you exchanged numbers.
I met Jack.
Right.
We exchanged numbers. It took some months to get in contact with me because my grandmother was super strict. She wasn't playing that. You're not going to be in the presence of a grown-ass man, your titties and ass growing. Fuck, he won't.
Right.
But I snuck away on a Saturday and I called him. I used a payphone.
Okay.
I know this generation don't know what the fuck a payphone
that was
is.
Phones that was outside at the time that you had to put in a quarter and dial the number.
So I used the payphone and I called him. And I said, hey, this Sundance is the girl that won the rap competition. And we met and we planned another date for him to take me down to the studio.
Okay. So now you at the studio.
I met Fast Eddie. Okay. I knew who he was. Right. On the West Side, he was the shit. He was like the Dr. Dre of his time. So I knew who he was.
Yep.
And we met. And when we met, he said, hey, you got something for this? And it was the instrumental to Get Up. So
you wrote your own verse to that?
I wrote mine, he wrote his.
Okay. So take me to the process.
So we recorded, when we set another day back up, we recorded, and it wasn't even anything to it. Wow. It was my first time in a professional studio.
Yeah.
It was my first time around business people, or what I thought business was. Right.
Now, was this down at DJ International? Or?
Yeah, 727 Randolph.
Yeah.
Rocky was there. Lauren was there.
Okay.
Benji was there. Rest in peace, Benji.
Right.
And everything just kind of fit.
So Eddie did the track beforehand?
Yeah, the track was created before I even got in the picture.
Okay, nice.
So, and Get Up was such a older rap.
Right now, so the song "Get On Up." So now was the sample in there already, or it was just like that with the sample in there?
No, that's not a sample. That's Eddie.
Oh, that's Eddie saying that. So did you create the hook with that, or did he create?
He created the hook.
Okay.
He created the hook. Get Up was like I had like 6 composition folders that I used to rap, keep up and write raps when I was in LA.
Right.
And when I came to Chicago, because things didn't fit. Okay. Because I would write about water, the beaches and stuff.
Right.
Living in LA, that didn't apply here.
So you knew right along this was going on Fast 80's album.
Well, yeah, after they told me, but I'm 15. I don't know. You know, I have an abusive grandmother. She wasn't trying to hear none of that shit.
Wow.
She was like, she ain't recording.
Right.
Take off all that shit. I'm tearing all this shit up.
All right, so the record comes out.
The record comes out and I go missing for almost a year.
What? You go missing? Like, okay, explain that.
I really wasn't fast. I was just more inquisitive about boys.
Lies.
And messed around and got pregnant. And Get Up
You were in Chicago? Or
I was in Chicago.
Okay.
Once I got here in 88, I've been here ever since.
Okay.
So once I got pregnant, I didn't think anything about the record. Wow. I just thought my grandmama gonna snap, lose it.
So were you hearing the record on radio being played at this time?
I'm gonna tell you what happened, Mimi.
Okay.
This was the defining moment that I knew something is up with this record. I was going north on Central. Okay. I was on the bus stop.
Wow.
And a guy pulled up in like a Malibu. He had sounds that was shaking the windows of the laundromat that was behind the bus stop. Right. And he was playing Get Up. And I was like, damn, that's my song. And I'm on the fucking bus stop. Wow. Yeah, but I went missing for like about 9 months.
So during that time, you never toured with Fast Eddie to do a show?
I did. Once I surfaced again. Okay. Because they contemplated on not putting the record out because they didn't know what was up with me. They didn't know where I was. Right. They knew they couldn't go to my grandparents. Okay. So it stayed stagnant for a while. Right. And then one day, Jack saw me walking down Chicago Avenue.
Now, Jack, who is Jack?
Jack is the same guy that gave me the $25 at the rap competition. Okay. Jamming Jack Star. He was like, Sundance! And I turned around and we reconnected. It was on. It was a bittersweet moment because I wasn't doing well at the time. But at this time, I was about 6 months. Okay. I was showing. Right. You know, on my pregnancy, and Jack took me to some female's house. They cleaned me up, and I had a lot of hair at the time. They did my hair. He took me straight to DJ International. He was like, I found Sundance.
Oh, wow. So do you remember everywhere you toured at?
When we toured, no. Okay. We were all overseas. I went everywhere. So I had a passport at 17. Wow. I had, ending now, I think I'm on my 4th passport. Right. That's how many times we
So knowing that you had Get On Up, now was there supposed to be a follow-up or anything? Did you ever talk to Fast Eddie about that?
We did another song called Work Your Body. It didn't have the friction that Get Up had. And then Rocky was like, I want to do a project with Sundance. Okay. But Eddie was on a different note. Eddie was like, can I be candid?
Absolutely.
Eddie was like, fuck this shit. Fuck her. This is my shit. This is my time. Now, at 15, right, I didn't know better. Right. But at 50, I understand where he was coming from. Okay. I'm trying to understand the logic at the time. But I'm like, Eddie, the song is hot. He was like, yeah, but the song is on my album. This is not your song.
Well, I mean, it can be on his album, but he can also do a project with you also.
But he didn't.
Yeah. I'm just saying, you say, well, you see where he was at 50. I just say it wasn't a business mindset because you can do both at the same time.
I didn't say he had a business mindset. I said I understood his decision and I accepted his decision. So Rocky felt like This girl got some writing power. Let's find her a DJ.
Ah.
In comes Mike Dunn.
Oh, okay.
So Mike was new at DJ International.
Right.
Dan's mother had just...
Now, what year is this?
This had to be 90.
Okay.
So Get Up still was rocking, but Get Up was falling off the charts.
Right.
Once Get Up charted,
right.
You know, it had its time.
Yeah.
So Rocky was like, let me find her some producers. But at the time, the track that Mike had for me, Mike had released the shit to Eddie, had given it to Eddie for another follow-up.
Is that Renegades?
How did you know that?
Girl, come on, I do my history.
That's Renegades, yeah.
Wow.
So now I'm asked out again, and the contract is running out. So Rocky is scrambling trying to find producers.
Right.
So I got a call one day.
Okay.
And the call was, Sundance, we hear your contract is running out at DJ International. I'm going to come pick you up.
Right.
This young man came. He picked me up.
Okay.
We had dinner. He took me to Jive Records.
Oh.
And at the time, D-Nice record, they called me D-Nice. D-Nice was in Chicago, mixing down some stuff. He had did some stuff with Mr. Lee.
Right.
So he said, with Sundance, this is Jive. You know, if you join us, you know, we got Derek here.
So who was the person that picked you up?
Wayne Williams.
Wayne is in history of a lot of things now.
Right.
No wonder we call him the house historian.
Right.
Even though some of his stories are kind of far-fetched, but we're going to go with this one right
Wayne
here.
Williams
Yeah.
gave me the tour.
Big props, Wayne Williams.
Yeah, he gave me the tour, and we were walking in the hallway. It was a young man on the floor with a Casio keyboard with a composition book. And Wayne stepped over him, so I stepped over him.
Right.
So as we were walking further down the hallway, I said, Wayne, who is that? He said, oh, this is a young man named Robert Kelly.
Wow.
And he opened the door like he hadn't even said that shit. Opened the door, and that was D-Nice. So I walked into Derek's.
Nice. So what happened with that session with Jive Records?
I didn't record with them. I didn't sign out of fear. That was one of my biggest regrets with Jive, and I had another regret to go work in New York at Def Jam when I first got into radio. Wow. Yeah, when my homie Ron Scott, but Ron had passed away from cancer.
Okay, so how is your relationship with Fast Eddie to this day?
We don't talk.
Is that personal or just on your half or his half or both?
I think it's mutual. I think we just grown apart.
Okay.
We tried to rekindle when we did Bass Crown maybe 9 years ago.
Right.
And we were getting shows because I guess people really wanted to see us perform again. But when it was time to pay me, I said, oh, no.
Yeah, the 1980s payments are a little old right now, huh?
Yeah, and I was doing more, and I have more to offer. It's like, dude, I'm walking into my 20th year of DJing. I'm on the radio. I'm working the records. I'm getting the records sold.
Right.
And now I'm DJing and introducing you as well as doing Bass Crown and Get Up.
Wow.
I'm doing more, and you're still paying me like it's 1990.
Well, I pray that you guys, get some type of,
we cool.
resolution in that.
No,
okay,
we cool.
You good? Okay.
I'm cool where I am.
Very good.
And I'm not saying it like, fuck them, but I'm saying it as Eddie brought out the best in me as a producer. Right. I liked working with him. Okay. I don't like his business ethics.
Okay, well, no, that's understandable, and that's your truth, so that's no problem. Mm-hmm. So now we fast forward. So let's go to the late 90s after you started DJing. Okay. Once you start getting your first professional gig at the Cubby Bear. Okay. What happens next for Sundance?
I kept going.
Right.
And then I had another task where I had to prove to my program director that I was good enough to DJ on Chicago radio. Because at the time, my PD at the time was Elroy Smith. Okay. Elroy.
And what station was that?
This was at GCI, my first station.
107.5.
Yeah, so this was at my first station. Elroy didn't really believe that women could spin or women should DJ. Right. And I used to tell him all the time, I'm dope, I'm fly, I'm Sundance. And he wasn't rocking with it until he saw me DJ for Pastor Charles Jenkins at the Lamborghini dealership.
Get out of here. Wow. And what year was this now?
This had to be about 2001,
Okay.
2.
Okay. And then you ended up on WGCI.
I was on GCI.
Then you became a mixer on there.
I became a guest mixer.
I should say.
Uh-huh.
Yes. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so take me through the process of that.
Elroy just didn't believe that women could DJ at the time. He only had faith in like Spinderella, all the New York DJs, but he didn't see that for women.
But you had a good relationship with him.
I had a good relationship with him, and I used to submit mixes all the time, just slide them under the door.
And this is when you're on air personality at the time.
I still was on air. I had a full-time contract.
Wow.
And he just didn't believe it until he saw me at the dealership. And when he saw me the next Monday, he called me in and he wanted to talk.
And what was your time slot at the time?
I was overnights.
Overnights, okay.
Yeah.
But you moved to GCI. You moved to an earlier shift after the years, correct? Or that was at the other station?
No.
All right.
That was at the other station.
So walk me through everything. So after GCI, then what?
So after GCI, when Elroy left, he went to Philadelphia. The position was open for PD. Derek Brown comes in.
Okay.
So when Derek came, Carla Box was still at V103 at the time.
Right.
Mike Julius was at V103 at the time. And F.B. Roth used to always say, Sundance, they're hiring over here.
Okay.
You need to come over here. I wanted to be on V103 because V103 had a union.
Right.
At the time. GCI didn't have a union yet.
Okay.
So, gave an air check.
Right.
He liked it.
And
He was like, okay, cool. But so it was one more hour added to my shift.
Okay.
But it equated to $42,000 more.
Okay.
On my salary.
All right now. See, now we talking about that.
But it really wasn't even a downside to that. He was like, you want to mix?
Right.
And I was like, hell yeah. So I've been mixing.
So you was a radio personality and doing the mix show.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it was hard to bridge that gap. I've always wanted to be known as both.
Right.
Even though I had to prove myself.
Right.
But I think I proved it with Derek at the time. Doug Banks came to Chicago.
Right.
And he did this event. And Derek put me on the event.
Wow.
And Doug ate it up.
And then how long were you on at V103?
I was on V maybe 3.5 years.
Okay.
And then it's funny, when Obama got in office.
Okay.
About 17 black women got fired.
What?
Yeah, and I was
V103.
In sales, in marketing, on air shifts.
Okay.
Like I lost my job. Beyonce, Trey Tyler, Irene Mojica, Frankie Robinson. All of us lost our jobs.
That's crazy. Mm-hmm. So after V103, where did you go to?
It was known that I was a free agent, and then the program director at 106.3 snatched me up and gave me middays.
Nice. Middays with Sundance. That's right. And how long you was there for?
Oh, maybe 6 years.
Beautiful. Look at that. You had a long stint in radio, Sundance. People don't understand that.
Yeah.
And I mean that's good. That's good for your resume. That's good because people really don't know that this is part of you. You know what I'm saying? So let me ask you this. As DJing and doing all these house mixes and house parties and everything, where would you say you get your style of DJing from? Because it is a little different.
Really?
Absolutely.
I think play different?
Yeah. And the reason I say that...
I didn't know I played different.
Well, you play different because you're more of a tracky DJ. Mm-hmm. Like, you play banging tracks. Now you play in the Afro house. But I can say you never the one that play like disco or anything like that. You'll play one now and then. Mm-hmm. But your main, I think, the way you attract people is because you play a lot of the beating tracks, jacking tracks.
Because it came from the West Side in me.
Okay.
We know beat tracks.
So that's why I'm saying that's your style. See, I'm not saying as a diss. I'm just saying.
I didn't know I had a style. I knew.
I think that's what your style is because I can't say you like anybody else that had come in and play our classics. although you can play anything because your spectrum is good, hip hop, R&B,
right,
and house. But I say as a house DJ, I'm just saying how your style is. I think it's more tracky, not too much songs, but then the Afro house you play a lot.
Beat the shit out of
right,
that,
that's what I'm
Mimi.
saying. So that's what I'm saying about your style.
I've been playing Afro tracks maybe 2013.
Right.
I don't care what nobody say. I know I started playing it first because when I was playing it, I was getting dissed. Lil Jon was talking shit about me on the radio.
Right.
Monty was talking shit about me on the radio. And to be honest with you, Mimi, the program director at 106.3, he had a problem with what I was playing. He was like, Sundance, you playing this stuff and it's not in English. We don't know what it's saying.
Right.
It could be offending a different race. It could be offending our race. Right. And I pretty much was like,
all right, so let me ask you this now.
Shit, I'm still gonna play it.
Since you've been on radio, how did radio accept house music? Did they really appreciate it? Did they diss it? Because out of Mike Love, I talked to beforehand, Steve Migley Maestro. I always wanted to get the radio perspective of why didn't Chicago radio take house, which is ours, embrace it, push it like New York radio did hip hop, everything like that. Why do you think, your perspective, why didn't they do that?
My opinion, I think it comes from PDs that's not from here.
Okay.
But you have PDs that is from here.
Right.
To be honest with you, Jay Allen is from, he's from here.
Yeah, but this is my problem. And I said this before, and I stick to my guns. I did a Facebook post when he did that. Like, he took house music off the air, didn't want it back on there on the mix show or anything like that. And I'm like, why would you do that? Even though you do these big house parties,
and that money from it,
that makes more money and get more attention than your hip hop concerts, but you steady don't want house on the air. I can understand from a business side point, but some fucking body got to stand up and be like, listen, I'm going to support this because it's house. And see, the reason why I'm so adamant about this because house made me.
House made me. House made me.
Absolutely. This is my beginning. This is my bread and butter. This is not nothing I do for fun. I mean, on the side, like, oh, I just want to do this. So when people speak about it, I get passionate about it because this is my livelihood. And I love it so much because it fed my family, put my daughter through college. It did everything.
Well, Mimi, I think one side is the PDs that's not from here.
Correct.
They will never accept it because they don't have the blood in them.
Right. I just think they don't have the blood and they don't have the balls to push something and be that person to be like, I'm very progressive. I see what's going on here. Chicago is the birthplace of house music. We should promote this music. It was some that did that, yes. But did they push it to the extent to where they could almost get fired to be like, I was the leader in this? I don't think they did. You know?
I think the days of supporting house music, the way BMX channeled in on it,
right.
I don't think that we'll ever see that.
Yeah,
and I think a lot of it comes from Chicago does not have not Chicago. House music does not have a face like hip hop. Hip hop has a face to it.
So explain that.
House music doesn't have a face.
Okay, but explain that. I mean, I don't understand that. Like
it's
one person.
It's some people in the industry. I didn't know who the hell they was because we lack videos.
So DJ Lil Jon said that too, as he think the reason why house didn't go as far is because we didn't have any videos.
That hurt us.
Okay.
Because we didn't have, and that's what I mean. We didn't have a face to it.
Gotcha.
Now, fast forward to now.
Right.
Teresa Griffin's song "Wonderful," produced by Terry.
That's a remix.
Why isn't that record on regular rotation? The record is now older now, but it is still a classic.
Oh yeah.
House record in Chicago.
And we know that that's the original was a slow record.
Right.
So this is the remix of it, which I think was great. But I told somebody this before that I was speaking with prior to you, that when me and Terry was in Winter Music Conference and he was promoting that record. We played it out there years before Chicago radio got a hold of it. So it was like 7 years after the fact. And I'm like, Terry, isn't this crazy, man, that I still have the original CD that you got right here that we played 7 years ago, and Chicago's just really getting on this record. He's like, yeah, man.
But the evolution of how radio is now, my assistant PD is my daughter's age.
Right.
Yeah, so if the assistant program director is my daughter's age, which is 32, she's not aware.
Right.
Of
no.
Teresa.
I know.
Not only that, she was shocked when she found out I had a record.
Right.
You know, Sundance, you had a record?
Right.
You know, so a lot of that has to blame because more of the bigger bosses are depending on the assistant PDs.
Right.
And we don't have music directors anymore.
So let me ask you this then. How has Chicago radio helped house music? And where did Chicago radio fail Chicago house music?
I think Chicago radio has failed us in house music.
Do you think it helped us?
Nope. It's not enough.
Right.
Because I run the specialty show.
Right.
And the specialty show on Fridays is house music. On Saturdays is stepper music.
Wow. Okay.
I just believe that the same with stepper music, it does not have a face.
Right.
It needs a face to identify with. We don't take videos. We half-ass on Facebook and Instagram. Right. We do not accept the concept of social media.
Right.
So somebody like Drake and Beyonce can come in and eat it up.
All right. So I have to ask everybody this. And I know you got started here. You came here to Chicago late. But where do you think the term house music came from in your perspective?
From the West Side perspective, it was music played in somebody's house.
Really?
Yep.
That's all the West Side perspective?
Born and raised from being from the West Side, I think that was the concept.
Really?
Yeah, but we didn't really generate to a lot of disco stuff. We played a lot of tracks, beat tracks, because I heard you speak about that in the Mike Love interview. You didn't even know what beat tracks were.
Right.
That's shame on you, Mimi.
Hey, it was either, ghetto house, booty house.
But it started from beat tracks.
Well, I mean, we did
tracks
like
back 117.
Yeah, but those that are not called beat tracks, we just call those, tracks, just, I guess it was called beat tracks. I guess so. Yeah. Okay, I get you with that. Okay, so since you came here during '88, who was some of the DJs that you looked up or you heard a lot about? So we get a lot of talk about Frankie Knuckles, Ron Hardy. That wasn't your era.
Nope.
So we come to the Hot Mix 5 level. Generation 3.
I am Generation 3.
So that's the Hot Mix 5, I believe. Everybody like that. So when you came into the scene, was there a DJ you like, oh shit, I had to listen to, or every Saturday you put a tape in to record? Who was that DJ?
If it was one on the radio, honestly, it was Farley.
Okay.
If it was one.
Right.
But I was more into...
and that's Farley Jackmaster Funk?
I was more into the love of James Brown at the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we talking about on the house side, girl. We keep in this house.
Okay, damn.
I know it's more, but I'm just saying we keep in the house.
Okay. So at the time, yeah, it was it had to be Farley because I didn't like the way Kenny played a lot of urban cuts that I liked.
Right.
At the time.
Right.
But Ralphie and all them.
Okay. All right, so that's good. Yeah. So speaking of Farley, let's stay here.
Okay.
In the background, you have the beautiful T-shirt truck. That is your business.
Yes, that's my
that
baby.
You do everything out of. You selling it. You go to every gig you do. The King of House just got his truck called the House Music Truck.
Okay.
What are your feelings behind that? And you think he really...
He did some sucker shit.
Oh, okay.
He did some sucker shit.
Right.
But,
But what if somebody say, well, Sundance, you don't own the truck or nothing, like, trucking industry.
Actually, somebody did come to me I still have a relationship with people in California. I know this guy that customized e-bikes. But the way that he did it, he was like, hey, you know, Erica, I really adore your truck. Can you help me build a truck out here that I'm going to just customize the e-bikes?
Right.
He came to me more with, you know, respect instead of Farley just ripping my whole concept off.
Right. Okay,
You know?
so
But
did y'all ever talk about that?
It's expected of Farley.
Did y'all ever talk about that?
Nope. I'm still waiting on a phone call. Wow. But it'll never happen. It'll never happen. I don't see Farley calling me, reaching out to me. Right. You know what he does now? What's that? When the truck is booked on pull-ups, Farley follows my truck and he'll pull up on the
your
side.
Your t-shirt truck. Mm-hmm. And he'll come behind you.
Yep, and won't even speak anymore.
Wow.
And this is somebody
King. What's going on with that,
man, I really looked up to Farley.
Wow.
You know, he regardless how I feel about him today, he still was a trailblazer.
Right.
For what he has done.
Absolutely. So speaking of that, who was...
I love how you cut my ass off.
I'm sorry. Did you want to get more into that?
Absolutely
okay, because we can go through a therapy session now.
Come on.
I can sit on this couch right here. You ready?
Yes.
All right, talk about what do you hate about Farley?
He's a biter. You know, the concept is God give all of us something.
Right.
Capitalize off that.
Okay.
It's too much in me to take this concept from somebody else. I don't have to do me doing me.
Well, I mean, I think people understand that you was the first one to ever have a t-shirt truck that was out this world that people didn't understand what it was. So I think when they see that, they know this is something of your concept. Mm-hmm. You know,
I'm not done.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Meaning I'm not done. I got some more dope ideas.
Right.
Just fly stuff. Everything I try to do it with an edge. But it's just me. I don't even have to try hard.
No doubt.
You know, my fabric.
So what was the first record that made you fall in love with house music?
Beyond the Clouds.
Okay, you got to name the person, the artist, and everything.
I don't remember the artist. I know
That's
it was
Mr. Fingers, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a red label.
That was Trax Records.
Yeah. Yes. Come on, Mimi.
Come on now. If you're gonna go ahead and speak this, and you're a DJ, you should know this now.
Okay.
All right. So that what made you fall in love with house music.
Yeah, because when my uncle was playing so much house music, he was playing more. He was a disco head, right? And I think it's because of him, I didn't really care for a lot of disco. Yeah. I grew to love disco because of the drummer side in me. Okay. I heard how the drummer controlled a disco record. Right. At the time in the 70s, when the drummers were playing, they was getting high. Right, so if they got a two to blow or whatever, they own it. Right, they own it. Right. But when they fell complacent in the pocket, they would slow down. Okay. And that's exactly what disco records would do. Okay. You have to keep your hand on that pitch because they don't speed up, slow down. They be something everywhere. Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
So name me your top 5 house records. I was gonna say Chicago house, but it can be any house record because I know
top 5. Maybe
your broad spectrum. Yeah. Name me your top 5 go-to records that no matter where you go, you would play these no matter where you at because you know it's gonna turn the party up.
Believe it or not, Percolator.
Okay, that's one.
Percolator works.
Okay.
When I played it in LA and they knew it, that I was taken back. Okay, when I played it in Memphis, I love how you rush my goddamn.
I need four more records. I don't need to know the history of people loving the record. I said the top 5.
Didn't rush Terry Hunter. You didn't rush Mike and Wayne. Don't be rushing me.
I'm not rushing you, Erica.
Okay, Percolator, the House Anthem, Marshall Jefferson and Curtis McLean.
That's the Move Your Body.
Move Your Body. Yes. Do it have to be old?
No, it can be new or anything. Do you need to see better with those glasses?
No, French Kiss.
Okay.
I Want You for Myself. It's like...
Oh, yeah. George Duke.
Yep. Yes, okay. George Duke. I Want You for Myself.
And it doesn't have to be new, old. It can be new, whatever the latest. So give me one more.
I really... It's a toss between Hula's Beat My Drum.
Okay. That's Hula Mahone.
Can't Stop the House, Terry's version.
Terry Hunter's right.
And Be My Husband by You.
Oh, thank you, Sundance. All right, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, I really like Be My Husband.
Name me your top 5 house producers.
Any order?
Any order. It doesn't matter what it is. Mike. Can we say the last name? Because a lot of people don't know. Right, okay.
Mike Dunn. Hula Mahone.
Okay.
Hula Mahone. You on when you're not moody.
Okay.
When you're not moody, I'm taking a liking to Steve Maestro.
Stop for a second. Do the thing again. I gotta edit this. God damn it!
This gonna be a lot of editing. I'm sorry,
It's all right. All right. So
when you're not moody.
When I'm not moody, okay.
And I'm taking a liking to Steve Maestro now.
Okay.
Yeah, Steve got some bangers. Who else? I like Young Terry.
Young Terry? Who's Young Terry?
Terry Hunter. I like his older stuff.
I'm like, damn, there's a new first producer named Young Terry.
I like Terry's older stuff.
So you just say Terry Hunter, baby. That's
Terry Hunter. Terry Hunter. I like Terry's, his older stuff.
Okay. All right. So Sundance, we coming to the close of this.
Okay.
Do you have any regrets of doing house music or in this music business from radio to doing music to DJing? Any regrets you want to get out, talk about, get it out your system?
One main regret that I have, we missed the opportunity to be on Soul Train.
And who was that with who?
Me and Fast Eddie. So
y'all had a chance to be on Soul Train. Wow.
But I think Eddie was Benji booked it. The booking came through Benji.
Right. Benji Espinosa from DJ International.
And they kept inquiring, we really want the girl. We want Fast Eddie, but we really want the girl.
Right.
And at the moment, we had just came back from the first tour. He was like, this is my album, my music.
Right.
And he was like, if I got to take her ass, we ain't going.
Wow. And what do you know what year this was?
89, 90-ish.
Wow, that'd have been nice to see y'all.
Because it was still Don Cornelius. He still was the host. Yeah, it was
nice to see your ass in some bell bottoms.
No. We were. I think I had Ashley. So it was definitely in the year of 90.
Okay.
Because she was.
I would have saw you in some polka dot then. Something polka dot.
That's what you think of me?
Yeah, I'm just saying. With the 90s, I wore that during the 90s, so it was good.
That's you. You couldn't dress then or now.
Oh, boom. So, Sundance, what do you think the future of house music is?
I think it is in good hands, but I have a problem with the first and second generation.
Okay.
I think that you guys need to mentor more.
Okay.
Because that's why it's so many young hip hop producers, because so many of the Timberlands, the Pharrells, they mentor, they have workshops, they teach how to move about in the music industry. So house, y'all don't do that.
So you think young kids would want to do house music if they had the mentorship?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Not only that, I think that more women will step up.
Nice.
More women.
So speaking of that, since you said women, what's the future plans for Sundance in this business?
Production.
Okay.
That's my next phase. I should have been and got into it. My cousin, he influenced me a lot. Waxmaster Maurice, shout out to Maurice. Right. He said, Erica, after 10 years, you're going in production. And I didn't believe it, but now I'm so inquisitive about production and drum machines and monitors and chords and just everything. So I thank you because I sit with you.
Right.
I sit with Mike when he's Dunn when he's here.
Right.
I just think that it needs to be more workshops. Okay. Because people want to get into house music.
Right. So I like to say first off, this episode is sponsored by the T-shirt truck.
Yes, it is.
Thank you very
Sponsored by
much.
the T-shirt truck. Thank you.
So you see the ad on there, and if you want to reach Sundance, give them all your social media, Sundance.
Social media, Facebook and Instagram, Sundance, Chicago's Tightest. On TikTok, it's the T-shirt truck. You give me a call. Thank you for the sponsorship, Mimi. It's 855-31 T-shirts, 855-31 T-shirts, 855-31 T-shirts.
That's right, y'all. It's everything house music and more. Thank you, Sundance. Y'all remember to subscribe, click the button, and hit the notification button, and you'll see more Sundance in the future.
Yep, you'll see me around Chicago in that big ass sexy truck.
Girl, I love you. Thank you so much for doing this show with me. I appreciate you, and we'll talk later. Peace.